Good afternoon, fellow yogis and yoginis. Dear Venerable Sir, I am a relative novice to meditation and have spent the past few days trying to improve my concentration. However, more recently, as my concentration has increased, a few issues have arisen, which have left me feeling somewhat stuck. First, let me report my experience. When I attend to my breath in sitting meditation, I first observe the in-breath and the out-breath, accompanied by movement of my abdomen. With the in-breath, I feel a cool air sensation hitting the upper back of my throat. With the out-breath, a faint warmness against my upper lip, the abdomen. I notice as a rising and falling wave, and I notice the slight lift and lower of my upper body as a result of the abdomen moving. I attempt to seek out the touching point without forcing it. However, the most prominent part of the breath changes at different times. Sometimes it is the in-breath and the out. But more often, as the breath becomes more subtle, the in and out becomes barely perceptible, and mainly the rising and falling remains. I am unsure. Is this then the touching point to search for in subsequent sessions? The other thing that happens in this is when I try to keep my breath natural and unforced, as you have said. When I am sitting upright with my spine fully straight, I find that my breath becomes shallow, short, quick in breath, longer out breath. This does not feel natural to me and contrasts to my slower, deeper breathing when I am sitting in a slouched position or resting, lying down. However, this shallow breathing happens repeatedly without my intention. The problem with it is that after a period of this shallow breathing, my body compensates by taking a deep breath almost like a sigh. This then disrupts the flow of the breath, and my observation as the breath again is not subtle. A few days ago, I had a brief moment where I felt like my body disappeared, and there was just me and my breath, and it felt almost like floating. I haven't experienced this since and wonder if the pattern I have described above is preventing me from deepening my meditation. Any comments or advice on how to progress would be very much appreciated. May the blessings of the Triple Gem be with you.
They start with term introducing concentration. They ending up with how to proceed the meditation. And I would like to add another term to this essay, the mindfulness. So when and where the meditator clearly understands, very subtle anyway, what is meditation, what is concentration, what is mindfulness. But anyway, most important crucial word is mindfulness. It is missing in this essay. So that is the root cause for this doubt or entertaining of doubts. When and where you try to gear everything for the concentration, you want to have a fixed object. You want to have what you call the benchmark. You need a reference point. So you look at it. More and more you repetitively observe the same benchmark, same reference point, same sign, concentration increases. But in natural, the same thing never appear again and again. It's always changing, very clearly indicate. When and where I try to see the touching point, it is changing. Then this change, the person do not know whether it is something mishap or it is something natural. And another event is when the breath is fading off, it appears like abnormal. So, sigh, a long high breath happen. That also he or she do not know whether it is something, a reaction to the body or it's a natural outcome. So this everything indicate the mind never happy with impermanent notion. So therefore when and where impermanent come into being, you are very meditation challenged, you are very concentration challenged. That's the crux of the essay. That is why knowing that, introduce and try to implant, don't worry about the concentration, don't worry about the meditation, just try to define the term mindfulness. Mindfulness is clear awareness. When and where you try to see the touching point, as far as this person is concerned, then you can see touching point is changing. And when and where you try to see the in-breath and out-breath, you can see rising and falling. So for mindfulness, everything valid. But if you are looking for concentration, you will pinpoint, you will advert to the one particular point, and it must be like a target, fixed target, must not be changing. So this is the basic, or not the basic, I would say subtle things. When you keep on practicing, it's a fine-tuning happen, fine refinement happen. I am doing the same thing with you, using the terminology. Please don't focus or don't gear your meditation to the concentration. Try to define again and again with your these all examples or experience mindfulness. For the mindfulness, these all are positive. But since you have measured it, sized it through the concentration, whatever changing appear like a challenging. So therefore you have an internal phobia, internal reaction, entertaining of doubts when and where something is changing. So please do the same, welcome everything, don't look through the mirror of concentration, just see through the mirror of mindfulness or awareness. You can understand things are changing. It's so obvious within a short period, and when and where you allow the impermanent notion to come in, impermanent nature to come in, moment you accept it, fading off is the basic theme in the meditation. Everything starts to fade off. Your body also will fade off. Your breath also will fade off. Your doubts also will fade off. Your uncertainty also will fade off, because you are ready to accept everything. It's a kind of a open-heartedness, accepting. So please reconsider, put mindfulness in forefront, rather than your mind selecting the concentration or meditation as the forefront. Once the mindfulness come in, definitely no time, no sooner, this very the mindfulness will give your concentration as well as the meditation. But the type of concentration you are going to develop is not what you expect. The type of concentration going to develop is called momentary concentration, not the conventional concentration. That itself is functionally the same. So therefore, once that is got into the momentum, it will serve the purpose. So therefore, please promote everything, facilitate everything. Only your perspective must be little adjusted.
Venerable Sir, further to your Dhamma talk last night, and the question I raised last afternoon, I focused on the gap between the end of out-breath and the beginning of the in-breath. My mind settled quickly on the gap, and there was intense rapture as usual. However, the rapture ceased after some time, and the mind settled to a calm state. There were sounds, thoughts, and pain, although felt far away, and I realized that if I go to investigate them, then I got caught up in the thought-making. I know I have to go a long way to get familiar to this mind state. As you said last night, the mind is opposing this because from time to time I take deep breaths similar to the situations when I get fed up and have to experience long delays. During walking meditation, I anchor my mind on the hard touch sensations on the feet. Most of the time, when there is external sight, sound or smell, my mind goes out but comes back soon to the touch sensation in my feet. Taking food is one of my weak points as I get caught up in the tastes. Bhante, please provide further guidance to improve my practice. Your guidance and instructions have made a significant impact on me. May your aspirations be realized in this very life. Theruvan Saranai.
The early part of the essay, it says that whenever you try to see the gap between the in the out breath at the beginning of the in-breath, you can't do it by your choice itself. There should have a certain amount of maturity in the meditation, preparedness of the mind and instructed mind, and then you know how to shoot into this gap. And once it is there, you feel the least frictional area, because gap means there's nothing to hit, and it's a comfort zone. So whenever it happens, the thrills going to happen. So after a while, at the beginning it is oceanic in feeling, you feel endlessness, you feel limitlessness and no friction and kind of adventurous. But after a while you start to feel all the other sensations, feelings, perceptions, thoughts and kind of thing, but you have a distance. That distance makes space. And our rational mind, not the normal mind, rational mind try to make stories out of this far away distance things. So this is called fabrication. This is called storytelling. That's what fill our mind. So here, if you go prepared or instructed, you can see they are too far away. And let them be there. Let the sleeping tigers to sleep and try to entertain or familiarize this space. It's a kind of a preparedness. So then you feel the distance sleeping tigers as enemy and the internal or space as the friendly part, and they are also danger also, because sometimes you develop such an attraction to this frictionless area, and then you develop hatred to the distance area. So once you familiarize, that means not to making stories, not to fabricate, let them be there. After a while you see they are utterly reciprocal each other, relative each other. Without that distraction, this space is not there. Without this space, distractions are not there. So you have to familiarize. Yes, you have to go a long way, but if you go prepared, they are relative each other. With respect to these distractions only, this space will be defined. With respect to this space only, the distractions will be defined. This is the mind. This is the consciousness. Distraction versus lack of distraction, the separation is happening. As far as they are two, not only mind is separating, mind is developing likings and disliking. If you like distractions, that is objects, you hate space. Whenever you like space, naturally you hate distraction. So not to have that frustration, sectarianism, or fundamentalism, or separate likings and disliking, the Buddha invented, what about having a mind equipoise for distractions as well as for the space, matter as well as lack of matter. Understand they are two sides of the same coin. Let them be there. You are familiarizing, seasoning, mastering. They are changing pace one after the other. At a time you get the distractions, and once that is finished, you go to the space. When you go there to the space, again naturally distraction appears. So this is a natural order. That is called the cause and effect. Don't get involved, don't get committed to say, I am the person creating distraction, so I am the person creating the space. You have no choice. Simply you have no choice. It is something happening. Don't fork your fingers. Just let it happen. You can see how reciprocally objects appear, space appear. Object appear, space appear. As far as you consider they as contrast, you get worried. You get involved. You get frustrated. As far as you consider both of them as cause and effect, you can be a neutral observer. You also can distance and see they are happening. So that is how it takes long time. But raw materials are enough now. You got the material, so season it in such a way, let the distraction come at a time, let the space come at a time, or let the in-breath happen at a time, let the end of the in-breath happen at a time. Mind selects, or opportunity selects, like a predestined situation. Don't think that I have selected matter or I have selected space. They are happening in a harmonious way. Don't get committed. It is to say you have to sit near the river, on the bank, in a dry place and see how the flow is river happening. Don't fork fingers. Let it flow in a natural order. And then you find you can get a distance and they are happening by its own accord. Here I selected only two parts, that is the distracting object and the space. So let it happen. More you frequent it, more you master it, more you get distance. That is called emancipation. That's it.